Hello and welcome to another episode of May the Code Be With Us with KSP Rp-1. So we're here at a dawn launch for the Rincewind 2 probe. This is another probe that's going in a polar orbit with scientific payload. And I'm not sure why I decided to launch it on a polar orbit, because I don't think the science instrument is biome dependent. I forget. I should have checked this beforehand, but we'll do it for the Rincewind 3. So anyways, I waited for the cosmic ray experiment in the Rincewind 1 to be done, and it did not give me the contract complete until it was done. So, but yep, it works. And we have a lot more funds. I bought, I think, 10 science points, not science points, upgrade points, to sprinkle around, mostly for the VAB, but also a little bit on R&D speed. So yeah, the program is running a little bit faster now. We are also already unlocked the next node in orbital rocketry, so I finally have the RD-107 and 108 engines, and I think, well, there's the Rincewind 3, and after that I'm going to build a rocket for testing the engine, getting some data units on it, and also getting like thrust curve for each altitude. I do these things to have accurate data on the thrust at each point in the atmosphere to run in my scripts. So another thing is, now that I got the first scientific satellite contract complete, I have now unlocked lunar flyby missions. And that's our next goal. Obviously, yeah, I'm not ready. I need to get antennas that can transmit from the moon and everything. But with the RD-107s and 108s, I should be able to put something like in the lunar flyby trajectory. Okay, that's first Miko. And well, if you saw the previous series, that's where my first program failed. Although there it was, thankfully, thanks a lot to bugs that had my missions failed because of like actual KSP and mod bugs instead of bugs in my own programming. So yeah, let's see how it goes this time. Speaking of bugs, I have this weird one, like visual glitch, where there's just these little things that kind of look like flak artillery from, you know, like World War II anti-aircraft weapons. Like, okay, yeah, this just looks like a smudge, but in other cases when there's better lighting, kind of looks like that. It's weird, but not game breaking in any way. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? Okay, yeah, this one is actually biome dependent, if I remember correctly. We'll see if the timer resets. And we have macrometeorite. This one should be, yeah, invalid right now. Okay, yeah, so it takes 20 minutes to run. Right now we're over Earth's tropics, so once we're over water, I'll check if it's less than 20 minutes. just skip this. Okay, so over shores it resets, so yes, this is span dependent. I'm glad I did not think about it and just went for polar orbit. Good. So this should give us a lot of science. I think what I'm going to do is just run one experiment at a time because of electric charge issues. I just noticed I stupidly forgot to remove the retro rockets, which are no longer needed. So it doesn't really matter that much, but I guess if we get close to the 9,000 meters per second, because that's the next record contract, then I will go edit the Wind 3 and remove them, because they do add a bit of mass and it does change the delta V a little bit. .900 meters per second short. Yeah, I don't think that's going to make a difference. So I think I'll just, because I also did not modify the program, it's still going to fire the retro rockets when we get to apogee. And I think I will allow it to do so, since we'll have a better field of view to like be in range of a ground station if we're a little bit higher on our perigee. But yeah, I think I'll just do that off camera. So now I'm going to design the rocket to test the next engines, so that I can start building it while the Wind 3 is being rolled out, and I'll come back to show you that. Okay, so let me introduce to you the Mangle. So the Mangle is not going to be a specific rocket design, but rather it's going to be adapted based on whatever parts I already have tooled to give a good enough rocket for the specific engine that it's testing. So for those that don't know, Mangle is a character from the Five Nights at Freddy's game. It's a horror video game where you get attacked. You're a security guard at a kind of Chuck E. Cheese's, and you get attacked by the animatronics. And well, the story with Mangle was that it was an old animatronic that was given to kids to play with, and they could take it apart and reassemble it in different ways. So it had this really weird look. And I expect that to happen with this rocket in several instances, because it's something that will not often fly with the same engine, so there's no point in me tooling specific tanks for it. Now in this case it doesn't look so bad, because I had no tank large enough to fit the RD-108 under it, so I just I tooled this tank because this is probably going to be like the size of tank that we use when we actually use the RD-108 in a rocket. It's going to miss the upper. RD-108s are like the R7 engines, the center engine, and they kind of have like the first cylindrical tank, and then it kind of goes wider, and the boosters are tucked in underneath quite snugly, and it really gives it a good look. I really like the R7 design, and it's a very good rocket. So yeah, I'm going to start building one of these. I have enabled extra telemetry in the RD-108 to get as much data units as possible. So it's able to burn for, I think, 5 minutes and 40 seconds, the rated time. We're 3 minutes short of that, 2 minutes 45. But the problem is it's designed to be flown with boosters at that length of burn time, and it wouldn't have enough thrust to lift off. And adding extra rocket engines would defeat the purpose of getting like the thrust curve for the atmosphere. So I decided to go for 1.4 surface to thrust to weight ratio at the surface. So yeah, this is going to be the first Mangle launch, and then for the RD-107 I'll probably just use the same one and replace the engine. But this is going to be after the next GIS card launch. We have the Racewind 3 launch, so be right back. Okay, so here we are with another dawn launch of a wind probe. And so if I remember correctly, the experiment I have here is the magnetometer, which is not biome dependent, but I will still launch it on a polar orbit just to have it be in sunlight for as long as possible, at least in the first days of the mission. So here we go. And apparently was transmitted some mass spectrometry from because yeah, I think I still have the mass spectrometer here. Yeah. Okay, so apparently this has also been taking readings from landed on Earth, which at least in Rp-1 does not give you any science. So let's keep this up. I'm curious to see how long it still has to go as far as upper atmosphere. I maybe should have included one in the Mangle as well. Okay, that's MECO and everything is nominal. And we still have almost 2 hours left on the mass spectrometer, so yeah, I should keep adding these to all the rockets. I should probably check the price at some point and see if it's not a lot of signs that it's giving us probably. I think I need to see if it's possible to increase the ejection force of the fairings, because this is ridiculous. Fortunately, this little maneuver moves the rocket away from the fairings, so it doesn't matter. But if we were igniting the engines right now, it might cause a problem. That was a game is stuttering a little bit. Not good. I just restarted my computer before launching KSP, so it should be behaving. Oh yeah, I forgot, I should check which experiments we have. So yeah, this is the antenna. Oh yeah, I can get rid of this. Where's my experiment? Did I forget to edit this? No, but I do remember putting a magnetometer. Oh my god. Yeah, this is stupid. Okay, this launch is useless. We need 42 points for the next upgrade point. 42 science points. So I'm just trying to think if I should bother building another one of these and put a magnetometer, or just to include a magnetometer in the next not on the Mangle, but on the next like proper satellite we build. I think that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, no sense in following this, so I'll just destroy this, and I don't have a contact. No. Yeah, so I'll just destroy this, and let's go for the Mangle launch. Okay, so I decided to pop into the mission control to see the next possible contracts, because the RD-107 is quite expensive, 120 or 150,000 funds, I think. And I believe there's a lot of missions that can be done just with the RD-108 without any side boosters. So I'm going to take a look through here, because communication satellite needs payload. So yeah, that's the thing, I need to check like how much a unit of payload weighs. 35-degree minimum perigee of 850 kilometers. So this is yeah, it's considerable. Like this we can definitely get easily, but to get this it means a certain level of control, or just a lot of retro rockets, like I did it for the 300-kilometer one, but 850 kilometers is a little bit more steep. I can try this, I can try. It's actually possible with this card, because orbit, no the card inside inclination, nope. Well, but we set it to polar orbit, so it doesn't matter. And we do get above this apogee, and well, we just need to the same retro rocket thing. It would be okay. So I'm going to build another Rincewind probe on a GIS card, and well, it needs temperature scan and pressure scan. Now there's one thing with this, because with Kerbalism, the science, like it just runs automatically when you don't have that science from City Biome, but if you have it, then it doesn't run anymore. So obviously that will be a problem for this contract. But I did see the option to force run an experiment, and it still does everything, it just doesn't give you any science points. So I'm going to try this and see if it counts for the contract, and if not, I'll use the debug to complete it, because these contracts are part of like progression contracts, I think, so I need to do them. Subsequent orbit, it has an eccentricity requirement that I do not have control of yet. I think I need a small, either it has to be a big rocket or a small, I need a small probe that has avionics to be able to fine-tune my orbit. So I mean, I guess I could technically, I could probably manage, but I prefer to focus on the other ones first. This one is probably still a little bit, it's a good amount of money though. I don't remember how much delta V I need for geostationary satellites, so I have to check that. $100 units of NAVSat payload. Minimum parity of 300. And it doesn't say anything about apogee or eccentricity. Okay, so I actually have a plan. So it's 100 units. I have no idea of NAVSat payload. I have no idea how much this is in terms of mass. Another ones. So I'm going to see if I can fit these two into like a probe that is small enough to go on a GIS card rocket, and if not, I think it's worthwhile to just to do both of them in one launch, to do it on a new rocket with the GLaDOS, with the RD1 weight, which it's going to be the GLaDOS rocket. Okay, so I have some designing to do. I'll be back later. So this will be the last launch of the episode, and quite possibly the last launch of GIS card 2 rocket. I'm not yet sure. So yes, I managed to find a combination that would allow me to get the atmospheric satellite and also the NAVSat contracts complete with this rocket. I have actually switched the core from a Sputnik core to a Pioneer 3, I believe, which is lighter and has less electricity requirements. It also has space to put experiments inside, so I didn't have to put the magnetometer outside, which was creating a lot of imbalance. But anyways, what I was actually, before trying this, attempting to build a rocket that could basically do all of the satellite contracts that we have available aside from sun synchronous and geostationary in one go. So it would have been besides these two also communication satellite, which meant doubling the amount of satellite payload we had to bring up, and also needing a perigee of at least 850, which requires a new rocket. Unfortunately for that, the rocket would have exceeded the 60 tons we can launch from this launch pad. So we are now building a level 3 launch pad, and that put us back quite a bit. We're back to 243,000 funds. So I'm starting to need money again instead of just science, and I have to keep that in mind. So maybe, especially since how long did it? I thought it was 400 days for some reason. Okay, so it's not that long to wait for the launch pad, and we still need to build the mangle. But maybe if the Geese Card rocket can take care of another contract, then I'll build another one. If not, then we'll move on to a bigger rocket. And finally, a good fairing separation. Maybe a bit overboard, but it's better than the alternative. So yeah, here we have Pioneer 3/4, and I was able to add all the experiments that I needed for this mission. Magnetic scan is not a requirement, it's just the experiment I'm missing, and it should give us another upgrade point once it's finished. Okay, so I remember seeing, first of all, let's get rid of this. This is just so that it doesn't stop time warp when it runs out of electric charge or something. Try to remember, because I saw a way to force experiments to run. Bloody hell. Yep, I'm having to fight with the combination of Kerbalism and Vector right now. Okay, let's see. So let's see if this works for the contract. And I also, okay, we're depleting a little bit of electric charge. I thought it's in a good position though, so I might have to stop the magnetometer until those experiments are ready. Okay, 5.888 megameters apogee. Definitely more than enough. I think we just needed to get to 800. Before that I was trying this rocket, but with the Sputnik probe and the experiments outside, I was barely getting to the required 800 or 850. I don't remember. And then the burn at apogee was not consistently getting me to 300 kilometers, which is what we need for the contract. So now I'm just going to time warp to apogee, see if I can manage to keep both experiments running until they're finished, and see if we get the contract. Okay, so we're still 37 minutes away from apogee, but yes, I already got the science, so it's good to know that it works. Where is this? Stop. Stop. Bloody hell. Yeah, go away. Yeah, and I should start this one again. 30 days, okay, that's not so long. I thought it was going to be 90 days like the other one. And this should also give us, oh no, we're still drawing. Look to charge. That's unfortunate because this is going to go into the shadows quite often. Oh well. The nice thing about current realism is that it shuts down an experiment automatically when it's low on power, so it will wait until it's back up again before starting the experiment again. No need to babysit it. Okay, so apogee up to 638, not bad. I may actually be able to do the other contract with this rocket tail. I'll look into it if I add another booster here. It's definitely worth a shot. But yeah, so we got the atmospheric analysis contract. How much? 32 funds, not bad. And then this is just waiting for it to confirm the orbit. So yeah, we'll get this one as well. So maybe we'll still have another discard to launch. I'll have to look into it, but that will be next episode. So thank you very much for watching this, and yeah, I will see you next time.